Hi everyone, my name is Juanita. I'm here with Erycka and we're from Cultured AF. We're sitting down today with Alexandra King, who goes by Lex. They just directed a new short film called Seven that's premiering here in London on December 5th. And it'll be available to everyone online on December 7th. So Lex, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background?
Well, I don't know. I'm just me. Everybody asks me that question. It's like it's hard to hit that one. I'm a lot of things. I'm a writer, producer, creator, queer, sister, lover, all those things. I am from the DMV area, as well as New London, Connecticut. Yeah, I went back and forth a lot of through my childhood. I think I moved to Connecticut when I was like maybe like second grade up into high school. But yeah, but I make sure I come home every year.
That's dope. I didn't realize you were from the area.
Wow.
Yeah, yep. I went to Edgerton, went to Benny Dover, Ledyard High. Yeah,
Yeah, we were wondering what the New London connection was, why you were debuting your film here. So that's cool. That's good to know.
yeah.
That's dope. I went to Benny Dover too. I feel a connection.
Benny Dover was lit, man. Benny Dover had some good times.
Wow, thank you for sharing. And as you said that you are many things, it makes me like wonder, like when did you know you wanted to be a director? Like what could you explain a little bit of that to us?
I don't think it was like an exact moment where I just told myself like you were going to be a director. It was really more so me kind of taking that leap into my creativity and my introspection. And then from there it was like I'm a very specific person. Like I'm open to a lot of things, but I'm very, very specific about certain things. So I know I want things to look a certain way and to be shot a certain way. Therefore, I'm gonna have to direct it. And just me directing Query is kind of like I literally one day was like, damn, I just found my passion. So it came from a chance. It came from like me just taking a huge chance.
Well, that's really powerful. I think that also like speaks a testimony to really trusting in yourself and really
Mhm.
and allowing to see what happens and what can come next. That's really
Absolutely.
So you mentioned Aquarius. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what was your inspiration behind the TV show?
Yeah, so Aquarius was created based upon, I want to say, the lack of content, good quality content that actually representative as the queer community of color. I watched the show with a friend, and we're on a phone. And I'm like, I hate that they show us like this, and I'm not a little aggressive like that. And it didn't sit well with me. And her and I just had a conversation. She was like, man, just write your own stuff. And I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna write something. And I wrote the entire freaking series in a night. I was just going in and I sent it to her the next day, and she was like, yo, the world got to see this. Like, let's do it. And that's really how it became about. Just literally from a simple conversation of me, not seeing films that resonate with me.
So yeah, we watched it in one night. Besides, I think the final to watch the next day. But like we were like right now keep going. So thank you for bringing that content to us.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
It was amazing. If you don't know, please go watch Curious TV on YouTube. Season 1 is up there, and you are not going to be disappointed. So before we get to other questions, is there going to be a season 2? Right? Like, there's going to be more.
So look, there's gonna be a season 2. Okay. However, standards are high. So we gotta get that funding. Like I did season 1 with absolutely no funding. Like this was people devoting their time, devoting locations. Like we were shooting on a friend's, she's a videographer. She had a camera. She wanted to be a part of the project. And everyone who was there, they really, stepped up and they showed up. However, with not having a budget, there's a lot of things that, were challenging. Like if you guys, whoever was with us from the beginning, we wanted to release an episode every week, but the way the budgeting went and filming, we were releasing, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. And then COVID hit and it was like a lot of factors. So if we have the right funding, yeah, I'll give you season 2, 3, 4, a movie. I'll do it all, but
Let's support this. Let's fund it.
exactly. So my thing is I don't feel comfortable even asking anyone to give me another season without me compensating them. They're artists, and that's how I make my living and how they make their living. And I personally, everybody has to get fed. We starved the first season, but everybody's gonna eat. And until we can do that, I'm gonna focus on the projects that I can't afford out of my pocket.
Absolutely. I feel you on that.
That's so dope. It makes me think of like when community comes together.
Exactly.
It's really beautiful and really powerful. And yeah, so like talking about the show, like, could you describe that feeling, that moment that you're like, oh, I will be filming, directing, and starring in a show that you're writing about? Like,
Yeah, because I didn't realize that obviously we watched the show and, we were emailing and I didn't see what you had looked like yet. So like we watched the show and I looked at your Instagram and I was like, oh, and she started in directing and like, that's her. Like, so,
Man, it wasn't something that I wanted to do. Like, I'm more of like the behind the scenes person. I'm that friend that sees the friend and take all the good pictures, but the friend that never has good pictures taken, that's me. So I can direct anything, right? But with Aquarius, I had an original cast and some things didn't work out with 2 of the original members. So we had to go in a different direction. And that's how Rex came in, who plays Bisa, who everyone loves and drools over. And then I was like, okay, well, I can only afford me at this point. So I guess I'm Kwame, which I think I did all right. I'm not an actor, an actress. It's not something that I want to like be the best at, but it was more so like, use what you got to get to where you're going. And I mean, I saw some progress in myself and I was like, damn, I'm out here,
Y'all all did amazing. There was so much progress from episode 1 to the end. You could see balance develop throughout the whole thing. So y'all did that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I'm personally fangirl just watching like I think the character development throughout the episodes, it was just so amazing to watch. Like, so being here, I was like, oh my god, okay.
I appreciate that.
But like I'm also fangirling because like I really am a fan of your work and it's really amazing.
Well, I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Damn. I'm over here like, damn.
So how did your like writing perspective change from, writing a TV show and then going into a short film? Like, what was that like? What are the differences there?
I think because I'm still finding out who I am as a writer, I'm not stuck to write one thing one way. I just know that all of my work has to do with feelings and questioning things and pushing topics that people don't want to talk about or people don't just think about. So for me, and I believe it does make me a versatile writer because I can transform my writing into whatever it needs to be. Like if someone, called me today and said, hey, we're going to fund an entire movie for 7. Guess what? I'm a movie writer now,
Right.
So yes, the most thing that's important to me is like me just writing from a place of truth, which 7's my baby. Aquarius was the baby, but 7, when you watch it, there's something different about it. And it really makes you feel and have a lot of sympathy as well as a lot of questions. Like if you can watch my stuff and be like, damn, what would I do? It's a success for me. When you watch Aquarius and you're like, damn, what if you were Trip, what would you do? Like, would you stay with her? Would you not? And then when you're thinking about, Jazz, Jazz is a very deep character that we'll get deeper into season 2, but people don't think about that thought process when it comes to the partner of a person that is trans. Like we don't think about what they have to go to and go through. And these are just thoughts that I have. I was like, damn, like what if I met somebody and they transitioned and then it's like, would I question myself? That's where those things come from. They come from conversations that I'm actually willing to have with myself.
That's really amazing. Like I think the self-awareness that you have that just feels really empowering, and I can imagine like others who will see this interview and like see you like feel inspired by that. And I know
Thank you.
the conversation, of course, the conversation that you brought up, like we even had conversations watching the show,
Right.
like being like a Latinx Black trans woman, I'm like, wow, like this is really amazing. So I really appreciate it. I can only imagine like how others could really appreciate your art as a writer and a creator. And like, so kind of segueing into the next question, which I think is really awesome, is like as we know, representation for Black and queer folks and like mainstream media isn't there. So like, how does it feel for you to be a part of like creating that space to like also book and create worlds that like center like our experiences?
Sometimes it gets very much overwhelming because I'm kind of in a box and I can't necessarily afford to get outside of the box. So for me, I'm like, it's pushing my patience. It's making me be more patient, understand that what is for me is coming for me. And right now, you know, I may not have the funding to put out season 2 of Aquarius, but when it comes, I know it's going to be on a greater scale and I'll be able to do what I want to do with no limitations. So sometimes I get real eager and I'm like, yo, I need to shoot today. I got to get ready. And then other days I'm like, no, just respect the process. Like you've come this far, you worked hard. Like I had zero expectations with Aquarius. It was a thought and it turned into the short film, or sorry, it turned into a short series, a mini series on YouTube. And we started blowing up. So for me, it's like, I'll let the numbers give me my motivation. Like, you know, when I'm doubting, like, damn, are people going to like this? Like, what are they going to think? When I see, you know, we got like 10,000 subscribers in like 2 weeks. Like, you know, we were hitting numbers. We hit 1 million views within like 4 months. Like we're hitting these huge numbers with zero advertisement, zero budgeting, everyone just giving their free time. So things like that, you know, it motivates me, but it also keeps me very, very humble and teaches me a lot of patience.
That's beautiful. That's so affirming to know that like you're just creating content that's really speaking to people, and like you know it's gonna come back to you. Like as you said, you're putting the work out there and people are receiving it, and I truly believe that you're gonna get everything in abundance that's gonna come back to you. That's amazing.
Thank you. I received that.
So getting a little bit into 7, like what can we expect from the short film?
Okay, 7, you are going to be done watching, feeling a lot of things, a lot of questions, a lot of like, what would I do in this scenario? You're going to go through, I feel like, a roller coaster of emotions as to which character you're going to connect with. And by the end of it, you're going to literally connect to both. It's just a beautiful story. Like I have this thing with like tragedy. Like I get so inquisitive that I just want to know everything. So I will have contradicting thoughts. I'll have these questions and I'll always find the beauty in it. And it's not to say that tragedy is a beautiful thing, because we all know it's not. However, there are spaces where we can, you know, heal from it. And you're not going to heal if you don't see the beauty in it. If you're still thinking that it's so ugly and negative, you're not going to get the healing that you need. And then, you know, I don't know. I find it very important to write about a tragedy. And that's what 7 is. It is a romantic love story, a tragic love story.
Wow.
Yeah, I could really tell just from the trailer, which was only what, a minute or so.
Mm-hmm.
And just from that, I could tell how powerful it was going to be. Just the way you shot it, like the lighting, I could tell that it's going to be an intense moment in that film. So yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see where that goes. What do you want people to take away from it?
Though it is a LGBTQIA plus film, there are 2 women. It's for everybody.
Yep.
My stuff isn't about gender. I write what I know, and I'm a lesbian, so that's what I know. That's what I'm going to write. But this story, I want people to be able to take away and not necessarily look at me as a queer writer, as a gay writer. I'm just a writer. And, you know, the stuff that I'm connecting with is with my community first, because, you know, this is where I'm starting. So yeah, I definitely want people to also leave with it with an open-mindedness of maybe pushing yourself to think a little bit more about the beauty and tragedy, because things suck. They do suck, but it's your perspective and how you accept them and how you move forward. I think Seven does that. It makes you question a lot of things. Like I found myself watching it. I've watched the thing like 50 times already. And I'm still like, damn, what would I really do? Like, who I would play scenarios as if I was Sky and as if I was Seven, you know? So such a beautiful film.
It's really beautiful, and I think also powerful to see like a creator like be so in touch with their art. And so just to watch you explain and to see the joy and the passion in the way that you're explaining the film makes me already as a fan and a supporter even that much more excited. And I think you do such a great way of really prompting folks to have those conversational pieces. Like thinking about Queerious, I forget the character's name, but she did such a great way of in interesting situations being able to be like, but think about this.
Right.
This is how I see the world.
Right.
And like how the characters around them were receptive to listening. And I think that's super powerful. And so I'm excited to see like how that plays into Seven and the ways that you're explaining it. And I love hearing your perspective of the world and the way that you're like saying, I'm not romanticizing tragedy, but look at it in this way.
Right. Yeah, thank you for that.
Other questions, Erycka? I have one. So we're a little bit into astrology. Are you?
Oh yeah.
You gotta ask. What is your sign?
I'm an Aquarian to the T. The good, the bad, all of it, and I accept it 100%. I literally love being an Aquarius. Okay, we're hard to capture. We don't want to be caught, but when you got us in a little sweet corner, we're good people. We're good people. I have a lot of humanitarianism in my chart, so a lot of what I do and things that are important to me are giving back. So for me, with my field right now of my career, I'm able to have the best of both worlds and me be free and do whatever I want to do, write whatever I want to write, but also give back to the community because we need this. We don't have this right now.
Wow, I'm a Capricorn. I have a crap ton of like Aquarius in my chart, like a bunch. So like
I feel it.
I can also
I feel it.
I felt it. Like I can also going back to your character in Aquarius. I'm like, wow, that was an Aquarius ass character.
Yo, yeah, Kwame definitely an Aquarius. Like,
yes.
It's funny because all of the characters are either a thought that I've had personally or an experience or my growth. So for example, like Kwame was me in like college, freshman year, maybe, wild, crazy. I don't got feelings. Feelings, what are those? And then, with business wise, I womaned up and Visa evolved and business is everything for me. And then spiritually, Sam is like literally me. Like the way that she pushes those conversations. And the important part for me in Queerious was to portray like friendship. Just because you've been friends for a long time doesn't mean you're good friends.
We talked about that, the friendship dynamics in the show and like how you showing communication.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a really important aspect of the TV show, like how the characters communicated with each other. And showing healthy communication too.
Exactly.
In a lot of the relationships. And that was something that we saw that was like, wow, I never would have thought to have that kind of conversation with someone or have it that way. Really important, and seeing that those dynamics play out in the TV show was really interesting.
Yeah, I think the problem with that is like a lot of times we converse with people and we are so worried about hurting someone's feelings, and like I'm very direct. And sometimes it could be like, oh, wow, that's kind of mean. But in reality, it's like, when you remove your ego, am I really mean?
Right.
And that was an important part of those conversations in Queries. It's keep it real. Don't sugarcoat. Like I have friends I have friends and I talk to them all the time and they know with me, you got about 3 seconds before my attention is gone. So get straight to the point, because just be direct, you know? I feel like a lot of friendships are afraid of that, and they feel like they're being judged. And if that's the case, then you need new friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said something that stuck out to me. Like when you stand deeper into understanding and step out of ego, and your intention is clear, like it changes the dynamic of the conversation. And I think that's really powerful. And then you also mentioned like seeing yourself reflected in the show. How does that feel as a creator, as you're creating, to be like, wow, I can see like kind of like myself self-reflected in these characters? Like, how does that feel?
To be honest, I like weird stuff. So to me, it feels good. Like all the things that I've been through, like the bad, the good, I embrace all of it. I embrace all of it because it's really all the pieces of who I am. And if I didn't experience those things, then I wouldn't be who I am today. So when I see it on film, like people ask me all the time, so are you Kwame? Tell me. And it's like, girl, yes. And like, 10 years ago, but we here today. Let's talk about how I am more like Sam. Let's have those conversations. So for me, it feels good. I like to, play in those uneasy spaces and push some thoughts. Like, a conversation with me can really have you like, all right, you're too much today and I'm gonna have to go. I have friends who check me and I check them. If I do something and they're like, that wasn't right, I'm like, I know, whatever. And we can go. I would prefer those types of friendships in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beautiful to have folks that can call us in versus out, and have
Absolutely
transformative conversation.
Look, we've been out it for too long. We don't need to. Let's reverse it.
Right. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us today, Lex. It was really amazing to hear a little bit more about you, your art, and we're still looking forward to seeing Seven. So again, if you're watching in London, it's premiering December 7th.
So we're gonna be on the 5th in New London.
Oh, the 5th. I'm so sorry. So December 5th in New London.
You guys get first dibs.
Hey. When is it going to be premiered to a broader audience?
So on November 7th, 7 will be available to everyone. If you go to QueeriousTV.com, you'll be able to stream from there. The tickets for watching 7 online will be $7. The reason for that is I want to make sure that I'm able to give you guys more stuff. And, just having YouTube it's not, I can't make anything. So for me, this is a way for you guys to support and pour back into the project. And I think $7 is a perfect price point for 7.
Yes, perfect.
Absolutely.
So we definitely will be getting those tickets. So thank you again, Lex, for sitting down with us.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
Of course, anytime.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to meeting you guys when I get to Connecticut. I'm excited. I can't wait. You guys are going to be the first.
Ooh, I'm so excited. Counting down the days. I'm not lying to you.